Hello, happy peoples. We are gonna head off to grab a quick dinner. It is our 14th anniversary today. 14 years this woman's had of putting up with me. Oh my goodness. She's still here.
No.
This is how you know there's a God, is because she's still here after 14 years.
Why do I look so short?
Well,
oh my gosh.
I think you're standing in a hole. Honey, can you?
We're matching.
Here we go. Look how tall you are.
Wow,
Look at
bad
that.
angle, bad angle.
All right, we're gonna grab a quick bite here. We'll bring you with us.
China's Alaska Grill. They have really good food. Actually, it was probably the summer before last summer. I actually kayaked this river here and we came and ate food. I'll link to that video. Go check that one out if you want to see me kayak. It was fun.
So this restaurant's right on the China River, so pretty cool. We'll probably catch some boats coming by, but it looks like it's starting to rain, so we'll see.
Let's meander.
All right, let's do it.
I lose my breath whenever I see you. You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon needs the sun, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for celebrating 14 years with this wonderful woman. Please bless this time, and we just thank you so much for all the blessings that we had in our life. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire. I don't know what I'd do without you. You make me smile, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon.
Okay. Dinner was good.
Oh my gosh. There are so many campers and tourists here right now during this time of year. Look at this. Holy moly. It is stocked to the brim. So, good time. Head on up to Alaska is in July. Whoa. We almost went flying downhill. Please? Nope. Please don't break the thing. We thought something that would be fun, since it's our anniversary, is we've gotten some questions and things like that in regards to marriage. What better time? Right?
And since we've just always had the perfect marriage, we thought we should just talk about how we've always had the perfect marriage.
And just accomplish that. Nope. We will share our insights, but that's about all we can do. So, first things first. How old were we when we got married? Boat.
Coming to you live from the China River today.
You're good. When we got married, I was 19.
And I was 24.
24.
Almost 25, actually.
Great. So anyway, that gives you a perspective on our age gap, how many years there are between us. So we were pretty young whippersnappers. We're still young whippersnappers. At least I am. Why we chose to get married? Why did we choose to get married, babe?
That's a good question. She pursued me, and she's a redhead, and you can't say no to redheads, if you know what I'm saying, because they will track you down.
We just felt the timing was right.
Yeah.
I was really heavily considering going to school, or I was working as a general manager at a local company, and I was like, you know, I really feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to marry this guy. So my dad, he actually came and talked to my dad, and my dad said, because he talked to him before I graduated high school. He was all up in that. And I was like, and he's like, you know what? I really want her to finish school first. So that's what he did. He respected that and waited until I finished school. And then he pursued. And I was like, okay.
And for me, I was a fairly new Christian at the time. It was important that I was doing what God wanted me to do. And I just knew that God worked through authority. So I just simply talked to her authority, which is her dad. And I told him straight up, I'm like, Mr. Meyer, I just know God works through authority. And if you tell me to go away, I'll go away. Because I just know that's how that works. And he just kind of sat there and didn't answer right away. And then was like, I'd like her to go to school, but you can hang around for a little bit. You can hang around the family.
So that's what I did. How long have we been married? Well, we told you in the beginning of the vlog.
14 years.
14 years.
I don't know how that happened.
Dude, it still feels, okay? If you're a young little person, okay, and you've been married for like 2 years.
A young little person?
Young little person.
Some people are now offended. You realize that.
Okay,
You've
I'm sorry.
offended the young little people.
Okay, if you were young, a young married couple, it's gonna go like this, guys. I seriously, it feels like I've been married for like maybe 3 to 5 years. Right?
Pretty much.
He's like, no, more like 25.
Some days it feels like 2. Some days it feels like 32.
7. You guys were asking, like, not necessarily marriage advice, but kind of like how we, because you have to, we've learned in life that you have to do things intentionally. You can't really just kind of just go by the wayside and, oh, everything's going to kind of work out. If you do that, tendencies of things to go bad or poorly, I think, are more likely if you just don't attack it with intentionality. So for us, we had some struggles. We're both firstborn.
I'm the oldest of 6.
I'm the oldest of 5.
So
that tends to get a little rub.
And
sometimes.
It was really important for me to just be that take charge kind of guy. So I married a redhead. And
nothing to do with my hair color.
You know, this could be, actually leave us a comment down below. Let me know if you're redhead, are you strong-willed? I would love to know that, because my redhead, strong-willed.
Definitely had that power struggle in a sense of learning how to properly work with each other, how I was supposed to approach him as a husband, and how he was supposed to deal with me as a wife.
For us, you know, when you look around at other marriages, you're like, wow, they have the perfect marriage. What's wrong with mine? You know, because you have struggles. And for us, we had lots of struggles, and some of them we've found ways to relate better and overcome. What was the first one that you can remember in marriage?
That was a struggle?
Yes, for you. Because like the first year, guys, it's like,
hallelujah, hallelujah.
You know?
And we both came from our parents' home. That kind of plays a factor too. We never were really out on our own.
Right.
It's kind of odd. Kind of odd.
I guess that's different today.
That's different. That's really different.
But a lot of it was too, guys. I mean, I see a lot of people, they'll live together before they get married, and to me, it's not as special. Brand new.
Like a brand new home.
Brand
like
new
the
home.
Excitement
brand new family.
of it, of like starting all that, like
your first
fresh.
Christmas and your.
Oh my gosh, it
just
was like fantastic.
Yeah.
We dated or courted, as what you technically call what we did, for 2 years. Just to preface that. So we've known each other
marriage,
for 16 years.
Well, I guess that's true.
Wow, all these numbers make me...
You'd think I'd have her figured out by now.
Nope. There's no manual. It comes with this.
First thing that like really irritated you about me. Not all, just the first.
You wouldn't do things my way.
Is that still there?
Yes. Still working on that, guys.
Firstborns. For me, I was always taught as like a chivalrous thing to be able to drive your wife around, just so she doesn't have to drive.
And
you get the door for her, and she's like, "I drive, dude. I don't trust you driving."
I'm an independent woman. I was like, why is that such a big deal? Let me drive. And I felt like he was like, no, you're a girl. I don't want you to drive me around, because he didn't trust me. And that was the miscommunication there. But because he actually was looking at it as a sign of like protecting me or taking care of me. And I was like, I'm doing myself.
But you know, we were kids and you work through that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and now if it's funny, I just drove you the other day,
Yep.
and it was so weird. Like, I don't ever
Awkward.
do that. And the kids are like, Mommy, why are you driving? Why is Daddy in the car and you're driving? Because they're so used to him driving. What was yours?
Ooh.
Couldn't think of any, huh? Okay,
Oh
next
no,
question.
there's a lot. This perfect woman who just is always nice and pleasant and happy. After about 2 months of marriage, all of a sudden started coming down on me. I'm like, what is the deal? Like every little thing. Like what? And then I found out my mother told her, if you don't get on top of him right away, you won't be able to control him.
And I was like, I have to ramp it up. He's getting really spry and wild here. I need to ramp it up.
So I guess if I could just narrow it down though, a little bit of it is just trying to figure out your roles. Like what is my role as the husband, defining her role as a wife and mother, and you know, she worked full time at the time, of course so did I, and just, you know, where
Balancing that.
what is your area, what's mine, and there's, you know, overlapping lines of jurisdiction that can kind of have rubs, but just figuring out what are we supposed to do, I think was the most important one. One area that we were blessed in, guys, is both of our parents have been married for decades.
Yeah.
And even good, bad, or ugly, they're still both together in different stages of life. So we have that as a reference.
Definitely.
And so this is just even, you know, to you people, anytime you're a relationship, you actually, you are encouragement to more people than you know. You really are. So staying together is not always easy, which is hard to imagine being married to someone like me.
Oh, I thought you were going to say someone like me.
Oh. Got you set up like on a post, and we pulled a picnic table over here. There's campers all around looking at
And
us
there's people
awkwardly.
walking by and like, hello and welcome to Bert and Jessica's marriage life, sharing their stories. People are watching. So those are kind of our struggles. Resources. I think we should touch on this a little bit.
Yeah.
On what actually has been kind of like, oh, light bulb moment, or oh, that really makes sense. That was a big help.
Resources that helped us, they may or may not help you interpolate for relationships, but there was some just really cool stuff though that popped out.
One of the ones was Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage. Basically, Mark Gungor is the guy who has put it on, and he's just this flamboyant, hilarious dude that essentially breaks down the female and the male brain, and then lets you take a flag page on which countries that are represented if you are from. And I'll just give you the synopsis. We're gonna leave the link down so you can like read all this information.
Guys, I found stuff out. I learned things about her that I didn't know, and I was like, that's really how it works with you? And she's like, well, yeah, you don't even know me at all.
So there's like a control country, there's a peace country, there's a perfect country, and there's a fun country.
Well, the flag page, guys, it's a 4 countries, like she said, and it measures your passion. That's a positive thing.
Yeah, it's not like
So
the
it meant,
stuff
like,
that's wrong
what
with
are you the most passionate about in areas of control, in areas of perfection, in areas of fun, or in areas of peace? Where are you the most passionate about? But can I tell them, though, that so you have like a primary and a secondary, and we are the exact opposites.
Exact opposite.
Which is interesting. So guys,
Interesting.
which is funny because we've had a lot of people take this, and almost all of them are very opposite or exact opposite. And those opposites like attract you to one another, but they also just drive you crazy after that 1 year,
odd.
you know, anniversary wears off.
After you eat that frozen cake that tastes like cardboard.
Yummy.
Flag page does cost money, just so you're aware. We're not affiliated with them.
No.
But it does cost money to take the flag page. But we've had so many people in our lives, in our family, that has taken it, and it's just cool. I have a little binder. I have a little binder that has everybody's flag pages of people that I know, because it's like, oh, this is what makes them tick. This is what makes them happy. And it helps you relate to them so much better and be like, this is how they view what's going on around them through this lens. And it's like, oh my gosh.
Actually, even in our business, there were people we were going to hire, and I made them take flag pages, and I can actually understand where they would be the most happy and content, and I was able to pick, you know, our last employee based off of that. Do a flag page, guys. It's really cool because if you can do that.
You guys do flag pages. You better email them to me.
Yes. Or shoot us a comment down below. Let us know.
No, I want them emailed.
Oh, you want them emailed?
Emailed, yeah. I need to put them in
personal.
my binder.
Okay.
It's everything good about them. If you want to, only if you feel comfortable.
Honey, okay.
If you want to get into the binder.
See? Or shoot your primary and secondary down below.
Yeah.
You know, if you're like a peace perfect person or like a control fun or whatever your primaries are, shoot us down below. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
All right, so the next resource, guys, is a book called Created to Be His Helpmeet. And again, just a preface though, the thing that stood out to me in that book, it's actually a lady's book on how to be a godly wife, but there's a section in the back that breaks out like 3 basic types of men. And I'm like, what kind of wife do you need to be for that man? And I was like, whoa, it was like mind blown. It was like
how accurate.
Yeah.
How accurate it was on how to deal with the specific type of a guy that you got. It was like, holy moly. He couldn't believe at how much it actually depicted him as how he views life. Some things in that book, I will preface it with this, that is a little...
Not everything. With any book, you don't necessarily agree with everything.
Yeah.
There's some pretty hardcore stuff.
There's some pretty hardcore stuff in that. But that section,
the section on the 3
8,
basic types of men.
Yeah, chapter 8, I will say, was amazing.
The resource for me is actually the Bible, guys. And you can basically drop men, what for me, what I want as a man and as a husband, what I want from her is respect and honor. And for her, if I could put words in your mouth, is she wants to be loved. So she wants to be loved, I want to be respected. So what happens is if I'm feeling disrespected, well, I ain't giving you no love. And then if she's not feeling love, she's like, well, I ain't giving you no respect.
It's amazing how that works. Some of the questions have been as well is, how do you guys not kill each other building houses? That's a good question. Because we've built a few.
Let's just say there's been a whole lot of God's grace involved here.
And I would say that this last one that we're doing right now has been by far the hardest one that we've ever done.
Yep.
It has caused the most stress, not only with our relationship, but financially, time-wise, how much time it's taking from us. It has been really, really challenging. And don't think that we just kind of glide through this because we've done it so many times. Every time is a challenge. Mapping out who's in charge of what in that process. And agreeing upon this is what we're going to do. This is the end goal and this is how we're going to accomplish it. And going into it with that mentality. We didn't lay out a budget. If we didn't lay out this is how much we're going to spend on this area, this is the only allotment, that would cause a lot of problems if we just were like winging it and being like, oh well, go pick out that. Now mind you, this is our final house, so this house has a lot more significance of getting things that we know that are going to last a long time and that we're going to want for a long time. So that has also played a little bit into that.
And I'm the contractor, and she's like, I just want it pretty. And I'm like, well, that involves changing footers and digging, and that's about $25,000. Can we kind of compromise in the middle somewhere?
Yeah, we have to talk. We have to talk a lot. It's a lot of communication and setting out with a actual goal of this is what we want to accomplish, laying out the steps to get there, and being very open about that. We're very project people.
We're kind of
very
just
project people.
doer type people.
Yeah, we're kind of doer people.
And it's odd though, as I'm getting a little bit older, guys, I'm starting to want to be a little bit less of a doer because I just feel wore out. I don't mentally, I don't know, physically just wore out.
Yeah.
And she just like, rah! It's what happens when you marry. It's what happens when you marry someone much younger than you.
We're not that much younger. 5 years.
5 years, 3 months.
Wow, we get it to the T.
We also work together in our business too.
Mm-hmm.
So she technically is the owner of the company. And again, this is defining roles at the exact same area, just like in marriage, you define roles in what I do. I do the project management and she does the office management. I do the engineering and then she does more of the creative side of it. And logos and stuff and vehicles and submittals. She does all of that stuff.
So it's just, I think it's kind of the same principle all throughout, defining the roles of what your job's going to be, what my job's going to be, and then we team up and be like, all right, let's hit this together.
I don't know if this was kind of a little more of, I guess, things that have helped us, some of our struggles, and I don't know if this is going to help you guys at all, but we would love to know if any of this made sense.
It's just kind of our experience.
It's our experience.
And what we've found that's helped, and you throw kids in the mix of that, it's a whole other ballgame. So, and that again is figuring out how you want to raise your kids, talking about it before it happens,
Right.
and saying, this is what we want to turn out, and then teaming up, holding hands, and being like, all right, let's do it.
So we're just trying.
We're just trying. Just trying, guys. Pray for us daily, okay? Pray for us daily. Because we don't have all the answers, but I know,
Nope.
guys, a lot of you guys were asking about our marriage and how we kind of make things work, and some things that maybe don't work. There are times, guys, when I want to pull out my hair and
Yep.
yell at him and get very, very frustrated. So don't think that that does not happen, because it does.
And you see the color hair? She does. She don't hold back.
Okay, I'm sorry, but you're brunette, and it does the exact same thing.
I'm the most easygoing
It's actually
person.
a little salt and peppery these days.
That's blonde. It's from the sun. I get bleached blonde.
It's blonde.
Yep, on the sides, on the... Okay, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, well, we hope that this was encouraging to you guys, and shoot us some comments down below if you guys have any other questions. We'd love to answer them. Yeah, we're gonna go get our kids now.
So we don't have kids to do the whole beep, so we apologize on this
No.
one, but you'll hopefully see them in the next one.
Yeah, you'll see them in the next video.
All right, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Happy anniversary, babe.
Happy anniversary. Awkward.